Okay, so Kanye West is out here using his Twitter fingers, and his wifey wife, Miss Kim Kardashian, decided to come to his defense. A lot of people have been upset with Kanye West for quite some time for his support that he gives Trump. And quite honestly, it does come as quite a surprise, being that he went so hard at George Bush. And for him to go so hard at George Bush and say, he don't like black people, and express the views that he expressed during that time on the current president of that time, it comes as quite a surprise to all of his fans who rallied behind him and these beliefs and supported, his movement of trying to empower black people and exposing the people who don't like black people and things like that. So for Kanye West to stand behind Trump, somebody who has shared a lot of bigoted and racist views, is like a total, oh nah, homie, what is you doing moment. So before I go into Kanye West's tweets and everything that he had to say, I'm going to read, his tweets from wifey who said, you know what? Back up off my man. Y'all not going to do this today, honey. Okay? Kim Kardashian decided to take to Twitter and she said, to the media trying to demonize my husband, let me just say this. Your commentary on Kanye being erratic and his tweets being disturbing is actually scary. So quick to label him as having mental issues for just being himself when he has always been expressive is not fair. Yesterday, it was announced that Kanye had parted ways with some business people, and media outlets made this about Kanye's mental health rather than just a simple business decision. So I'm glad he tweeted about the state of his company and all of the exciting things happening. He's a free thinker. Is that not allowed in America? Because some of his ideas differ from yours, you have to throw in the mental health card? That's just not fair. He's actually out of the sunken place when he's being himself, which is very expressive. Her tweets went on and on and on. I'm gonna flash them on the screen. You can read them for yourselves, and then I'll be right back. So sis was pretty much fed up. She didn't have time for it. She wasn't feeling it. But come on now, let's be totally honest. If you go so hard against Bush because you say he don't like black people, you go so hard to try to expose the type of president that he is, and then you support a president that is clearly racist and he expresses himself all the time, it comes as quite a shocker, and people are gonna think that that's quite erratic. But I'm gonna call it for what it is. He recently promoted that he was gonna be releasing 2 studio albums, so I think this is all publicity for his albums. Samuel L. Jackson even chimed in on the matter. But whatever the case, I'm going to go to the tweets and show you some of the things that he had to say on his page. I'm going to skip over some of them because he was going on and on and on and on and on. But I'm just going to talk about a couple of them. He first clarified that he no longer has a manager. Then he said, I'm nobody's client. Yes, I got rid of my last lawyer. Why? Because he wouldn't come to work full time. I also asked my last manager to come to work full time for Yeezy. Of course, the last lawyer and manager said no. So now I hired a CEO and CFO, and I now have 2 full-time lawyers as of now. Then he goes on to brag about how he's the highest paid person in footwear. He went on and on to say, there's a lot of fake news, so I just wanted to give you the facts. Yeezy will become the biggest apparel company in human history by working with the most genius level talents and creating product at affordable prices. Then he started going in on the media people who have been tweeting about him. He first said he follows the shade room, that they shouldn't try to play him. Then he went on to take shots at TMZ by telling Harvey Levin that he was going to be the future president and that he probably should be on his side, and stop describing him as being erratic. Then he went to People magazine and he's telling them, to put some respect on his name. And then he continued on the series of tweets. He also alluded to a Charlemagne the God interview that they did. And if you guys remember a while back, Kanye West and Charlemagne the God were spotted leaving offices. So I'm going to guess that, you know, them linking up, Charlemagne did a secret interview, and it seems like they may be shopping this interview to outlets to see who's the highest paid. Kanye West is saying that the bidding offer for the interview is at $10 million.
Hey Kanye, how you doing?
What up, Kanye? How you guys doing? You guys, that new album about to drop or what? You give Charlemagne a listen?
You got some shit.
Okay, here.
Kim say anything?
And then he took shots at Ebro, who is on Charlemagne's opposing New York radio station, and, you know, basically telling him that Charlemagne is better than him in so many words. And he just was going on and on and on, talking about how he supports Trump and how he's expressive and how he's a free thinker and how, you know, he's not going to conform. And then after he went on these tweets, I was thinking in my head, like, okay, maybe he's hacked. But when I seen that Kim Kardashian came to his defense and was defending him and defending everything that he had to say, I'm like, okay, well, I guess he's not hacked. Like, I guess this is really him. He then started tweeting images of what I think is the inside of his Beverly Hills mansion, telling people that he's not in a sunken place, because a lot of people were commenting under all of his photos like, you're a sunken place, you're in a sunken place, you need to get out, you need to get out. Like, you know, you are clearly tripping, what's wrong with you? So in order to prove to people that he's not in a sunken place, he showed photos of a very empty looking house. Like, it just looks very, you know, it's very large, but it's very empty and doesn't look like home to me. Yes, it's a big mansion, but I don't know, man. My bro needs to get, you know, I think that once you reach a certain level of fame, you get out of touch with, you know, who you are as a person, and you get out of touch with your natural roots and where you come from. I understand that, you know, everyone should be able to express themselves and they should be able to have freedom of speech, but I think there is a little bit of shock when your freedom of speech becomes very contradictory to who people grew to love. It's like you were very outspoken and you were speaking for Black people, but now you're supporting people who go against that narrative. So it just really comes as a surprise and a shock, and it doesn't make sense. I started like screenshotting his tweets like hours ago, and then I went back to his Twitter to check right now, and he's still on a roll. He has been on a roll on his Twitter for about, I want to say, like over the last 5 hours. Pause the video to read some of the other tweets. I'm just going to flash them by and just pause it so that you can read it if you want to read it. Much done with it. I know that there's an album coming. He had posted videos with him and Dame Dash that they kind of linked back up. They were working on music. He alluded to music coming out. And I know these artists kind of use these types of tactics to get attention put on them when they're about to post a project. And I believe that this is definitely the same thing happening. I think that he's trying to get attention to him. He's trying to get all eyes on him. He's been out of the media as far as being, you know, Kanye West that we know, and he wants to rile people up so that when he drops music, people will tune in to kind of see what he's talking about. And I think that this is really what it is. But Also, I understand why so many people are saying, you know, like you're sunken, you're canceled, because it's very contradictory to how he came out and what people grew to love from him. He's a dope rapper and I love his music. I love College Dropout. I love A Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, however you say the name of that title. I love so many of his projects. I'm not looking forward to this one because I feel like it's going to be just BS words thrown around. And of course, it's probably his expression, and his expression, his current state, he doesn't connect to the people. He's kind of detached because he isn't in our world anymore. You know, he isn't in our world. He's not in the streets anymore. He's far removed from, you know, what most of us can relate to. So I'm not looking forward to this new music. And like I said, I believe that it's a tactic to get eyes on his project and that people could, you know, start talking about him and have things to say and things like that. I'm tired of these whole marketing schemes of trying to get people riled up so that you could drop a project. Like, what happened to just putting out good music without all the antics? Like, I'm truly tired of it. Anyways, that's all for this video. Stay tuned for more celebrity news and gossip. But in order to do that, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button right now. Don't wait. Do it right now. All right, guys. Peace.